Hello, you wonderful human. Welcome to this Yin Yoga practice. I have recently fallen so deeply in love with Yin. It is the most beautifully spacious, grounding, and freeing practice where we really just have a moment or a few moments to drop into the here and now, to take a little bit of pressure off the body, but also off the mind. And we can just be here with our body and with our breath. So if you are new to Yin, we will be holding these postures for about 3 to 5 minutes. They will all be on the mat, so lying down or sitting. It is great if you have props, so a bolster, maybe a blanket, blocks if you'd like them, and a meditation cushion. Now these are definitely not necessary, but something like a cushion is really great to help to really give that support to your body during the practice. So if you can get one, it could just be a pillow from your bed or a cushion from your sofa. It doesn't have to be a fancy yoga prop. It will do the same thing. Now when we do this practice, it's really nice if we make the space that we hold it in kind of like a sanctuary. So any way we can do this, I always think sounds. I've got some sounds on for you. Smells, and anything that's gonna make you feel nice and cozy. So for example, I've got a little oil, essential oil that you can put on my body, can have a little smell of, just to really start this idea of connecting to our other senses and giving back to self. If you have anything to cleanse your space, whether it be Palo Santo or sage, or maybe it's just a candle, you just have something there that gives that feeling of coziness, then this is your time. Really romanticize the moment and give yourself this sanctuary. So when we're ready, we'll start our practice in a moment of meditation. Now, during this practice, points of it might get difficult. Any pain, pinchy pain, we want to move out of. If we've come deeper, we'll just pull off a little bit. But if you feel like you're getting a bit of frustration in the mind or in the body, stay with it and breathe through it. I will carry your breath throughout and keep reminding you of different things to connect to, so that we can just let whatever happens, it will flow, and we will go through the practice together. So for our meditation, option to take a seat. If you do have a seat, I would recommend sitting on something just to elevate the hips so the knees are drawing down a little. This just helps to realign the spine. So when we do this, the hips might slightly tilt forwards. We just want to retuck the hips towards the lowest ribs. And you could place the hands on the thighs and maybe take a little roll of the shoulders up to the ears, down and back, having a slight length through the spine, through the neck, and a softening of the face. Now, if you sit a lot in the day, it can be nice to take your meditation lying down. You don't have to stay seated. And if you want to do that, I'd say a really nice grounding lying down position. You can draw the soles of the feet to the earth. The knees can knock in so it's supported, and hands can either settle on the body or either side of the body. And wherever we are, we keep the eyes closed so that we can start to draw the awareness inwards. Now, these first few moments of practice, we're not really trying to do anything. We're actually kind of trying to do the opposite. We are simply giving ourselves space and time to arrive. Our days can be so busy, so this is simply time so you can settle in both the physical body and the mind. It can be quite nice at the beginning of practice to take a few rounds of deeper, more conscious breath than perhaps we have already in the day. So whether we're seated or lying down, taking a deep inhale, filling up the belly, allowing the belly to expand, the breath will rise through the body, and allowing an exhale through the mouth. Take 2 more just like that. Inhale, take up space with the body. And exhale through the mouth, maybe a sigh. We'll take once more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. And closing down the mouth, allowing the breath to find a gentle inhale and exhale through the nose. And as we begin to slow down to arrive in this moment, we start to make space, and sometimes that space is really welcomed. Other times that space feels difficult. The mind wants to hold on to something, knowing that's okay. Even if it's difficult, we make the space anyway. Inviting and encouraging a softness of both the body and the mind. In these few moments of space, just taking the opportunity, perhaps for the first time today, this week, or maybe even longer, to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? And again, knowing that's not always sunshine, that's not always great, positive things, and that is okay. We make space for you to just show up, to release any tension, tightness, holds, and pressure. And we'll take the next breath together. Deep inhale to the belly. And exhale through the mouth. If you're sitting, coming to lie down just as we are now. And we're going to come to extend the legs long. Our first posture of today is our bananasana. And that is exactly as it sounds. It's a banana shape with the body. So we'll start by bringing the right foot over to the top right of the mat, and the left ankle is crossing over the top. We'll use the right hand to hold the left wrist, and we're drawing the hands over to the right hand side of the body, the right hand side of the mat. And there's an active little shuffle, a pull of the hands and the feet to the right so we can lengthen through the left-hand side of the body. And at first it might feel like that active pull, but when we find a place we're going to settle, can you start to soften through the feet, through the hips, through the hands, through the shoulders? Now with each posture we go into, I'll take you in with a breath and take you out with a breath. So we'll take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up the belly, the chest, the throat. And exhale through the mouth. Closing down the mouth, allowing the breath to come in and out through the nose. We're staying here for 3 minutes. Knowing that during this time the mind will wander. That's kind of what it's meant to do. But the body acts like an anchor. The mind can wander, you can think about things, but every so often drawing the awareness back to the physical sensations in the body, the breath, and the earth beneath us. The longer we stay, the body starts to realize it's okay to soften. This journey is so internal. We start to notice tiny little holds of tension and tightness that aren't necessary, aren't needed. And we begin to soften. And every so often we give this little internal scan of the body for those points of tension. Maybe it's somewhere obvious or somewhere more subtle, a little softening of the forehead, of the jaw, of the fingers. And starting to notice that sensation of breath again if your mind has wandered. You're going to take 3 more breaths, deep and nourishing into the belly. We'll take the next breath together. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Gently softening, drawing the feet back to center. The hands can place on the belly. We come into our rebound. A neutralizing posture. And in Yin, it's not even just the posture that does the work. It's when we come out. Seeing where and what we can notice. Any sensations, maybe in the left arm, the left ribs, the left foot, maybe the right hand side of the body too. What can you notice under the layers? And we're going to draw the left foot over to the top left of the mat, maybe even just off the mat. We'll place the right foot over the left. So we're crossing the ankles, taking a hold of the right wrist, and we're drawing the hands over to the left hand side, lengthening through the right hand side of the body. And maybe we shuffle a little further, and then we find a place to stop, to settle. And we'll start to begin to soften into the body. We'll take our breath together as we arrive. Deep inhale to the belly, filling up the belly, the ribs, the throat. And taking an exhale through the mouth. We settle in. And as the mind begins to go on its journey, gently drawing the awareness back to the physical body to try and locate any of those holds, tension, tightness. Can you soften just a little? Feeling the stability of the earth holding you here. And the space that we have to settle. Drawing the awareness back to that sensation of breath in the body. Taking 3 more deep, nourishing breaths. take the next breath together. Deep inhale through the nose, filling up the belly, the ribs, the throat. And exhaling through the mouth. Beautiful. Releasing the side bend, drawing the feet back to center, hands on the body or on the earth. We rebound. Seeing what we can notice. Those subtle sensations, shifts in the body. It's the physical, but it's also the more subtle layers. And drawing the knees into the chest, taking a hold of the shins, taking a gentle rock on the spine, left or right. We're going to roll over to one side. From there, we're going to find our way up to a seat. Now from our seat, we're going to get our pillow, and we have a few options here. We're taking a forward fold. So if you have a cushion or a bolster, option one, we can make it a Baddha Konasana, a butterfly forward fold. We could do it without a prop. We could simply fold forwards, the feet could be touching, we could be here. If you want more support, we could widen the feet a little, draw the bolster or pillow underneath you and settle the head on the bolster or the pillow. If it's more of a squishy pillow, we could kind of bunch it up under the chest and use it as a prop there. Now, if this doesn't feel good for the legs, we could also straighten the legs and draw them a little wider. This will work into the backs of the hamstrings and be a little bit softer on the knees. And wherever we've decided to be, on or off the bolster, we'll take our fold. Coming to a moment of stillness after you've got out any little wriggles. We'll take our breath together, deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beginning to straight away soften into the body. Perhaps scanning the body for any little holds. Anywhere, any way you can soften just a little more. Maybe that softening is simply a depth of breath. We're going to take 3 more deep, conscious breaths here. Next breath we'll take together. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Wherever we are, we can place the hands on the earth or on the bolster to lift through the chest. We're going to move the bolster just to one side, soles of the feet to the earth, coming to sit up tall, no, to one side. We're going to come to a seat, so crossing the legs, sitting tall, finding space. Now our next posture is a reclined twist. So it is our stag or deer twist. So we're going to use our bolster. If you have something else we can also use, you can place that under the chest. So we're going to use our bolster. Bringing the bolster behind the spine, long along the mat. Soles of the feet are coming to the earth and the knees are coming up towards the sky. Now I'll take this slow. We're going to knock both knees over to the right. Pivoting on the feet, the left knee is coming to the bottom of the right foot. So we're thinking there's 90-degree angles with the leg, and as the knees move over to the right, the body continues to twist. We're going to come to lie over the bolster, twisting through the spine. And if you want to come into the full expression, we can lie the chest down onto the bolster. Look over the right shoulder. Hands come either side of the bolster or the pillow. Now if that feels too much, we can reduce it by simply looking to the left. Or we can stack the knees rather than have them in a stag leg. So we could be here. Wherever you are, taking a moment to wriggle and then to settle. And when you get there, we'll take our breath, deep inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. When we come into these twists, the breath wants to be short because we're creating less space for it in the body. So see if you can use the breath to encourage space. Breathing deeply into the belly, into the ribs. And as we do so, each inhale creates space. And each exhale invites a softening. Face, shoulders, torso, hips. going to take just 3 more breaths here, allowing them to be slow and spacious. And the next breath we'll take together, deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. Now from your twist, we're drawing both hands to the earth, gently pushing up through the chest, and we're going to re-rotate to face forward, soles of the feet to the earth, and just taking a moment to hold the knees. We can take a little forward fold. When you're ready, we're going to lift up tall again, coming over to the other side, so soles of the feet to the earth, nice and wide, knocking the knees over to the left. The right knee comes to the bottom of the left foot. We continue to rotate. The hips are at the bottom of the pillow or the bolster, and we continue to rotate so that the chest comes onto the bolster, the hands either side, and the right cheek is going to come down if you're coming into the full variation. If you want less, it can be left cheek. If you want less again, we can stack the knees. So finding whatever works for your body, taking a moment to find what that is, to wriggle if you need, and then we'll settle. We'll take our breath together, deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Closing down the mouth and allowing the breath to find its natural rhythm in and out through the nose. We're going to take just 3 more breaths here. Feeling their nourishment. And the next breath we'll take together, deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. Now we're going to place the hands down onto the earth to lift up through the chest. We re-rotate to face forwards. We're going to move the bolster out of the way, all the way behind us. We no longer need it, and we're going to come to lie on the back. Now we can use the bolster, take it back. Coming under the bottom of the spine, we can lift the hips. Our next posture is our waterfall pose. The legs are coming up to the sky, and we're just softening through the legs. And sometimes it can feel nice just to give a little shake of the legs, and it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be anything really. It's just a little wobble of the legs to get everything moving, and then they can settle. Sometimes we need a little bit of shift, and then we come to softness. We'll close down the eyes, take a deep inhale through the nose, And exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. And there can be a nice soft bend in the legs. With this posture in particular, the body can start to have some strange sensations quite quickly, maybe a tingling of the toes. I want to move and shift out, but we want to really step into that role of the observer. Can we simply witness what's going on? Maybe notice these unfamiliar or familiar sensations and just allow them space. Taking 3 more breaths. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And gently bringing the hands to the pillow. Lifting the hips just a little and rolling it or pushing it away from you. We can settle it underneath the backs of the knees or move it out of the way if you'd like to come into a fully grounded Shavasana. And we'll take a moment to engage everything in the body. So point the toes, engage the shins, the calves, the glutes, reach the hands over the head. Engage everything in the body. Take a deep inhale, hold the breath. Squeeze everything just for a moment. And then exhale, release. Release the legs. Hands can come either sides of the body or to settle onto the body. We come into our Shavasana. you have time today, allowing yourself perhaps an extra 5 minutes here. You can either pause the video or just gently listen to my voice. If you're coming with me, we'll start to breathe a little bit deeper. Taking a little wriggle into fingers to toes, beginning to awaken the body. Taking a deep stretch, the arms and the legs. And drawing the knees into the chest and rolling over to one side. And over the next couple breaths, finding your way up to a seat. Keeping the eyes closed for a moment, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Feeling the breath and the heartbeat. Grounding and feeling this space. We'll take one breath together to close our practice. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.